particular video, we are going to be looking at several examples of run-on sentences and the different methods that you can use to create them. And number one, we have the water level in the creek is getting higher. The tide must be coming in. Now, you'll notice right here we have the run-on in this section because we have the first sentence, the water level in the creek is getting higher, and then the second sentence, the tide must be coming in. Now, since we have two independent clauses coming together, two sentences, this is a run-on because there's a lack of punctuation. Now, if you remember in the last video, there are 5 different methods that you can use to correct this particular type of run-on. First, you can use a comma with a coordinating conjunction. So just for example, we could use a comma here and add the coordinating conjunction so. That's one method that you could use. However, there's some other methods you could use as well. All right, another way that you could correct this particular run-on is to use a semicolon. Now, please remember that semicolons are used as a replacement in this case for a comma and a conjunction. So I don't want you to be intimidated by semicolons. I know some students are. If you can use a comma and or a comma so, you can just as easily take that out and replace it with a semicolon. Just ensure that the two sentences on each side of the semicolon are going to make sense and being discussed together. Now, a third method is use the semicolon and then add maybe a transitional phrase or word. In this case, we could do a semicolon and add therefore. Now, after the therefore, we would need to add a comma because that's a transitional phrase. So that's another way we can correct it. Now, there is another way that you could correct this particular error. Remember, you can do what's known as subordination. Remember, subordination is when you're going to make a dependent clause. So we could change this first clause, the water level in the creek is getting higher, to a dependent clause. So we could say, since, we lowercase the t, since the water level in the creek is getting higher, now we need a comma after that introductory dependent clause, the tide must be coming in. So again, we're making two independent clauses into what was a complex sentence, what was a compound sentence into a complex sentence. Now, a final way that we can correct this particular error is we could technically put a period here. But remember, the problem with this is now we have two simple sentences. You don't want to take a chance of having a very choppy sentence. And you'd have a choppy essay because there'd be tons of simple sentences back to back. So just be careful when you're correcting this type of run-on that you think of all the best scenarios. I just gave you 5 methods to correct that one run-on. Now, the second sentence, the chemists have made much progress, but they still have a long way to go. This is actually the most common type of run-on I see in your essays. You have your fanboy, your coordinating conjunction, but you forget to put your comma before it. What I encourage students to do is when you read your essays, read them backwards from the last sentence to the first sentence and focus in on just the sentence. Look in that sentence. Is there a conjunction? If there is a conjunction, look before it. Do you have a subject? Do you have a verb? On the other side, do you have a subject? Do you have a verb? If you have two independent clauses and you're combining them together, if you have a conjunction there, you have to put that comma. So please don't forget how important it is to have a comma with your conjunction because that's a run-on. I know you don't want to miss 7 points on your essay because of just one missing comma. Now, the last example we have, chemistry has contributed much to our understanding of foods. For example, many foods such as wheat and beans can be produced in the laboratory. Now, this is where our run-on is, okay? We have essentially 2 complete sentences, and then we have a transitional phrase. Now, you would need to put a semicolon here. That's one way to correct this particular type of error. Another method would be that you could actually capitalize that F and put a period. But just be careful. Again, you would potentially be creating 2 simple sentences. Now, what I'm hoping you're going to kind of gain from this particular discussion is I want you to see all these different ways that you can correct ultimately a run-on sentence. Just remember, you can make 2 independent clauses with a conjunction. You can use a semicolon with a transitional word. You can have a dependent clause, or you can use a period. Any method works.